I'm probably disappointed. I'm probably gutted. Something has to change, but I don't know who knew what. I'm thinking, why don't it just come out now then? You know, I knew, and I'm hearing everybody else is saying they've only just found out. It's breaking news.
What have you made of him?
The drug cheat.
Is that a fight you'd entertain?
No, definitely.
At no point, no.
They've done him a raw deal, I think. But I say it, I'm truthful. They should have more brains. It was a fucking pathetic move.
Tested positive after traces of cocaine were discovered as a result of a routine test that was given to the voluntary anti-doping agency. It's understood that the anti-doping dated on the day of
The boxing world is in uproar, and this time the target is clear. Conor Benn's win over Chris Eubank Jr. has exploded into one of the biggest scandals British boxing has seen in years. Fans, fighters, pundits, every corner of the sport has something to say, and none of it is flattering.
The Conor failed a drug test. That is a fact. It's not been denied anywhere. There's lots of talk about, let's see how this works out, and he's entitled to get his day and so forth. Well, it should be dealt with very quickly, and it can be
For Benn, what was supposed to be a night of triumph has now turned into a storm of accusations, suspicions, and outrage. From the very first bell, people noticed something was off. Benn's power looked suspiciously enhanced, his speed looked unnatural, and his endurance...
Not going to accept that. I think what they want to see is, blood, him get hurt and take him out.
...seemed superhuman. To many boxing pros, this fight didn't look like a battle of skill. It looked like a chemistry experiment in motion. Every exchange left fans questioning how Eubank Jr. was supposed to stand a chance against someone fighting with what looked like rocket fuel in his system. Anthony Joshua didn't hold back, and honestly, why should he? With Benn's controversy
being him connected to this, it's even more shocking. You just highlighted there, this is the noises that this is a voluntary anti-doping test that was
history already haunting him. This latest victory has placed an even darker cloud over his name. Fans were already skeptical, but after fight night testing raised more eyebrows than cheers, the sport's patience has worn thin. Joshua made it clear, this win doesn't feel earned. It feels...
I always say, it don't matter what drugs you take, it doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, it might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter, and that's proof. So until more news comes out, you just got to deal with it. Let's not...
Engineered. Adam Catterall was one of the first to call it out. He highlighted the stunning details surrounding Benn's test results and the sheer number of supplements involved. Suddenly, every lightning-fast combination made a twisted kind of sense, but not in a way...
At the moment, the British Boxing Board of Control aren't. So we have to speak with them, deal with the legal situation and see where it lands. And this is quite fresh. Obviously, I don't even think it's 30 minutes. I think it's more like 10 or 15 minutes since that. And, we'll see what
fans wanted. The whispers have now become a full-blown roar. People aren't debating strategy or footwork. They're debating science. Johnny Nelson cut right through the chaos with brutal honesty. He didn't sugarcoat.
If Conor Benn's been using, ban the fucker. Ban him. Because it's a dangerous sport. Whatever they do, whatever they don't. But I'm having no opinion on it at all. A man's innocent till...
anything. According to him, Benn didn't look stronger because he trained harder. He looked stronger because something else was at play. Nelson said what many fans were already thinking. This wasn't boxing. It was performance enhancement on display. A real fighter...
It's like a slap in the face for his dad. His dad was an absolute warrior. I remember his dad well fighting, and he was an absolute warrior. And some of the fights he had will go down in boxing history as being some of the most savage fights ever. I don't think his dad ever got done for anything illegal. And to me, it's just wrong. It
relies on timing, ring IQ, and skill. Chemicals can give power or aggression, but they cannot create boxing mastery. Benn's performance, in Nelson's eyes, was hollow, artificial, and undeserving of praise. Eddie Hearn's comments only heightened the tension. Even he couldn't deny that Benn is walking on dangerously thin ice now. The British Boxing Board of Control has its eyes firmly locked on this situation, and fans are waiting for consequences. Social media erupted into
high-profile guys getting caught, and it's just horrible. Genuinely, and I know you were about saying, without going fucking fully mental here, I just believe if you're caught with any performance-enhancing drug, you should be banned.
Laughter and disbelief as Ben tried to celebrate. Any sense of glory he hoped to enjoy has quickly crumbled into embarrassment. Then John Fury weighed in, and when John Fury speaks, the boxing world listens. His verdict was simple and savage. This wasn't just cheating, it was reckless endangerment. He stressed the brutal truth that chemicals don't just enhance performance, they increase the damage potential. In a sport where lives are already at risk,
cheating bastard. You know, that's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is, but then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's someone that's failed 3 times, or this is the third adverse reaction.
Adding steroids or masked substances is beyond irresponsible. Fury didn't mince words. In his eyes, cheering for Ben's victory is like applauding a crime scene. Duke McKenzie didn't hesitate either. He pointed out the most heartbreaking layer of this scandal. Ben hasn't only damaged his own name, he has dragged his father's proud legacy through the mud. Nigel Benn fought with integrity, heart, and honor. Seeing his son entangled in controversy, banned substances, and accusations is a slap in the face to everyone.
Get paid. Correct. This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously. Absolutely. Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping, I know that, but this is a test. He's popped hot. Let's look into it properly. What happens if something happens on Saturday night? Absolutely. What if we've already got a safety issue?
Everything the Ben name once represented. Carl Frampton delivered another devastating blow. To him, this isn't just rule bending. It's an attack on the very safety of the sport. Boxing already demands courage and discipline at the highest level. Introducing performance-enhancing drugs is unforgivable. Frampton even argued that a lifetime ban wouldn't be too harsh. When top fighters like him speak that strongly, you know the situation is catastrophic. Dave Coldwell captured the sentiment of thousands of outraged fans. His reaction wasn't about technique or training, it was about morality. Whether this is Ben's first failure or his 5th, the outrage is...
Reporting on it this morning, I'm just slowly coming up. One of my colleagues, Jeremy Wilson's doing it for the Telegraph. He's the drugs expert, or the doping expert on the desk. And I think there was something like 14 supplements that he was using.
The same. Every punch from that fight is now under a microscope. The supposed dominance Ben displayed suddenly feels empty and fraudulent. Coldwell made it clear. This wasn't talent. This was chemistry dressed up as boxing. And just when it felt like the scandal couldn't get any deeper, Adam Catterall emphasized yet again how alarming the oversight in this situation truly is. Voluntary anti-doping tests aren't optional. They're essential. They protect fighters. They protect reputations. They protect the sport itself. Ben might have walked out with a win, but he also walked out leaving a dangerous precedent behind him. Then Gareth A. Davies.
Drugs don't make you a better fighter. Drugs may make you a little stronger, may make you give you a bit more energy, but it don't make you technically smart. It doesn't give you all of that. You know, so those drug cheats that do it purposely, you've got to remember, you know, why are you doing it? What difference is it going to make? It's going to make you like a boxing Einstein?
Dropped the bombshell that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. 14 supplements. 14. That's not training. That's a laboratory in motion. Suddenly, the entire fight looks different under this new lens. Ben's energy, power, explosiveness, all of it now feels questionable. Fans are horrified. Fighters are disgusted. And the integrity of the sport has taken a direct hit. Johnny Nelson doubled down again, reminding everyone that no matter how many chemicals Benn may have taken, they still cannot teach genuine boxing IQ. Eubank Jr. wasn't outboxed. He was overwhelmed by a manufactured advantage. And now, every highlight from that fight feels like a reminder of what happens when science invades the ring. Dave Coldwell echoed that humiliation again. Benn's reputation is shredded, and every replay of that fight looks worse. Whether the test issues involve one fail or multiple, Coldwell says it doesn't matter.
Fucking hell, cheating bastard.
Yeah.
You know, that's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is, but then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's someone that's failed 3 times, or this is the third adverse reaction,
the stain is permanent. Fans aren't cheering, they're shaking their heads. The so-called champion now looks more like a cautionary tale than a contender. Then Tony Bellew stepped into the conversation with a reality check. He insisted that Benn's supposed skill gap over Eubank Jr. is purely imaginary. Chris is the real technician, the real talent, the real boxer. Benn's performance wasn't brilliance, it was chemistry. Fans are furious that deception has undermined what should have been a fair fight. Aldridge Aladipo raised the stakes even further, suggesting the possibility of masking agents, possibly even cocaine, being used to hide the real story behind Benn's testing. At this point, fans are horrified, pundits are stunned, and Benn's credibility is evaporating by the second. What once looked like a victory now feels like a scandal spiraling out of control. By now, the Conor Benn saga...
Conor is a far better fighter than Chris Eubank Jr. is a boxer.
Technically, yeah.
And that's the problem that Chris Eubank Jr. is having. He's got this thing in his mind, he's a masterful boxer. No, you're not.
No.
I'm sorry, no, you're not.
Well, he's
has transformed into something far bigger than a single fight. It's become a symbol of everything wrong with oversight, doping, and deception in modern boxing. A victory that should have been celebrated has instead become a humiliation on a historic scale. 14 supplements, questionable tests, and a performance that looks more engineered than earned. This is not the legacy any fighter wants. Chris Eubank Jr. fought with honor. His reputation remains untouched. But Benn? His triumph has turned into a warning, one that every fighter, promoter, and fan should pay attention to. Boxing deserves better. Boxing demands better. And boxing cannot survive if shortcuts and chemical advantages replace courage and skill. So now the question is simple. Should Conor Benn face a lifetime ban? And more importantly, can this humiliation ever be erased? Let me know what you think in the comments.